Mr. Director Young, so I'm reading that we had 59 bomb threats at HBCUs from the beginning of the year until the middle of February. So my question to you is, and I think I know the answer, but I just want to make sure because I was in another committee hearing, that there have been no arrests made. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir. And the, let's just say the first one was notified us on January 31st. So with this, we're not going from the beginning of the year. It was January 31st and continued through the month of February.
Okay. And you know, when you have threats like this, it's hard to measure the fear that that it can construe and cause. But there's also a cost and disruption, of course, of the university, and there's cost of the investigation that you are all involved with as well. So we don't have any arrests made, but then I read that the FBI believes these are emanating from 6 tech-savvy juveniles. Is that correct?
Yes, correct, sir.
All right, so we haven't made any arrests, so how do we know that they're coming from 6 tech-savvy juveniles?
Some of them come from encrypted platforms, and so it's been, challenges with attribution.
So how would we know the ages of the people, the perpetrators, if we don't know who they are?
I can't go too much more into the investigation, sir, but that's let you understand that this is a high priority. We're utilizing not only our counterterrorism resources, and those are the Joint Terrorism Task Force, but folks with our Operational Technology Division to help with some of the complications with the technical issues, as well as our Weapons of Mass Destruction Division, and as well as some of our efforts with cyber.
So we don't know who they are, but we know they're juveniles. And then how do we know what their motivations are if we don't know who they are? But I'm confused.
Like I said, I'm not going to go too much into the investigation, sir, but based upon the statements that were made, that were received by those divisions, they were what we would call racially motivated.
Right, from the statements, but we don't know who it is yet. So, because I've just seen this before where some of them are actually, not only to the point of credible, but they're folks that certainly had a racial motivation, and then there's some false flags as well. What I want to ask, Director, if you know, what are the penalties for something like this? Let's say we get a conviction, somebody called in a bomb threat. Is there a difference in the penalties if it was genuinely motivated by hate, or if it was just somebody that wanted to get out of taking a test? Or are they the same? Because I think they should be the same.
If it's threats of violence and they're called in threats, they're treated exactly the same. If there are what I would say additional penalties, depending on what is developed through the investigation, I would just leave it at that.
Well, because if somebody calls in a bomb threat, regardless of their intent, whether it's they just want to get out of a test or they really have a hatred, it's still causing the same fear, it's still causing the same disruption, it's still causing the same cost as from an investigative standpoint. So I would be firmly in favor of increasing penalties for this, because it is something that just takes so much time away from what we're trying to do here, which is educate young people.
I would add, sir, that we receive between 5,000 just call-in tips a day, as well as call-ins to our internet, or I was going to say, through the internet that are pushed through us as far as tips. And a number of these are what we call threat to life, and are, in bombing matters being one of them that require immediate response.
And Director, do you have any idea how much this costs the FBI? Do you guys ever? Go ahead.
For us, terrorism is our #1 priority. We don't want more terrorism, but
well, nobody wants more terrorism. What I'm asking is specifically on these bomb threats, because it does cause the college disruption. It causes fear to the students and the faculty, and then it causes law enforcement. It costs a lot of money in law enforcement, both campus, local, and at the federal level.
It takes significant resources across all levels, sir, and we send out our subject matter experts in regards to evidence, in regards to our bomb technicians. So yes, it takes a significant amount of resources across law enforcement. as
Thank you,
well as
Madam
the
Chair.
disruption.
Thank you. I know I'm over in time. I'd just love to be able to quantify that at some point. Thank you.